Hello and welcome. Today we are doing a pick a card reading to see what the month of April holds for you in your career and or finances. As we dive into this reading together, remember that you are the creator of your reality, so always take what you need from these readings, take what resonates, and leave what doesn't. Find your own truths, clarity, and alignment in these readings, whatever that looks like for you. If you are new here, then welcome. I'm so glad you have found this video and this channel. My name is Taylor Eaton, and I am a wealth activator, a money mindset and manifestation expert, a channel, and an oracle deck author. If you want more resources to help you manifest more wealth or success into your life faster than ever before, I will be sure to leave links below for all the ways to work with me, including where you can purchase my oracle decks and journals, my Wealth Vibe membership, and my mentorship offers. Now it is time to pick your pile so we can see what the month of April holds for you financially or career-wise. So if you haven't already, take a look at these piles. See which one you are intuitively drawn to, which one is just pulling to you, which of the piles or crystals your eye just keeps going back to, which one you're getting that intuitive nudge to check out. We have Deck 1 with Peacock Ore, Deck 2 with Orange Selenite, and Deck 3 with Amethyst. You are absolutely welcome to watch more than one pile. If multiple are calling to you, that just means that there are pieces of guidance meant for you in each of the readings that you're drawn to. So go ahead, pause the video if you need here. Take however long you'd like to tune into your inner guidance and see which of these readings is calling to you. And then use the timestamps below in the description and pinned comment to jump to whichever pile or piles you're called to. And I'll see you in your reading. Hello, deck number 1. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. And as we start to shuffle your cards, I wanted to mention that starting April 1st, we are launching a brand new 21-day challenge inside of the Wealth Vibe membership. It's called the Main Character Money Challenge. This is for you if you're ready to start commanding your co-creative power with the universe on a whole new level. It is designed to simply and powerfully rewrite your mind to fully own and leverage, oh my goodness, already exciting, your role as the main character of your life, especially when it comes to money, so you can make your manifestations inevitable. So if you are ready to step into that level of power and magnetism, then I will be sure to leave the link to join the Wealth Vibe below. So with that being said, let's dive into your cards. I'm so excited. I kind of got a little distracted there when I was pulling your cards and had this captain card come out. Taking command, teamwork. We're going to flip these other cards over. These are the initial theme, the initial guidance I'm getting for the month ahead for you for April. We have the Weaver, rediscovery, transition, and the Fate, accepting help, guidance. There's a lot in here about things changing, and changing in the sense of your collaborations, your teamwork, your leadership roles, your kind of notoriety in your industry or field. There's a lot that I'm getting here around this being a really pivotal month, especially in your career, which can impact your finances. I just see there's just, especially with the captain being this kind of central card that came out here for you, taking command, teamwork. I see just, for some of you, this could be promotion. This could be avoid kind of being like, someone, your manager gets promoted or leaves the job unexpectedly, and all of a sudden there's this leadership role that's available and you step up and take it. Maybe this could be through application. I see it being very self-led, right? I see whatever step that you take this month in April into more of a leadership or kind of commanding managerial role. It's going to be self-led. It's not going to be something necessarily that's given to you. It's something that you say, you claim it. You're going to choose it. You're going to say, I want that, or I'll step up and lead. Some of you, I'm getting, it might even be like a kind of hesitation to lead, but you choose it because you know you're the best person for it. But I just see it being a very prosperous agreement that you come to. Again, this could be, if you're not in a traditional role, I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs here. If you are an entrepreneur or an investor, something like that, it's like any partnerships, any collaborations, or anything in your industry where you're seeing a gap, where you're seeing there's a lack of leadership this month, that opening is for you if you want to take it. That's what I'm getting. The universe is like making openings where you're going to see lacks of leadership. You're going to see a lack of leadership in your industry, in your career, in your job, in your field, in a collaboration that you're doing with other people. And it's not, the universe is saying this isn't happening because people are incompetent or because, things are unfair or it's not organized. It's actually that space is being made for you to step up into more leadership, not only so you can be more highly compensated, which I see being part of the deal here, which is fantastic, or get a bigger cut of the returns or things like that, but also just for you to see how powerful you are and how much change you can affect and how much kind of power you can command, which is really cool. So there'll be some really prosperous, co-collaborations, some prosperous partnerships, prosperous promotions, things like that for you. But it's going to be with you taking the lead, taking the helm of something. I do see that, again, this kind of comes from recently you've maybe been, or at the beginning of this month, you'll be heading into some sort of personal kind of almost rebirth, a rediscovery, a transition. You're kind of rewiring, especially what I'm seeing with this golden thread here. I see you kind of reweaving your fates, which is interesting. This could be something for some of you. I get that you've been doing this recently, right? That you've been in the past few months really maybe doing identity work on yourself, like shifting your self-concept, your sense of self, how you see yourself in the world, especially around money or career success. Some of you could be mindset work. You've been manifesting things, but you've been doing something lately. And if it hasn't started yet, it'll start first week of April. I'm getting something will spur this on. But where you've been rewiring yourself, reweaving yourself in a way, remaking yourself in a way that it's changing the trajectory that you're on. It's been changing the path that you're on, which I get is what you want. Especially if you're here on this reading, I'm assuming it's like, you're like, yeah, I want more abundance. I want more abundance, or I want to have it come in a different way, or in a way that feels different, or with more ease. It's like you've been creating yourself into the person who's a match for that. And the physical outward manifestation of it's starting with, or kicking up a notch with, this leadership gap that you're going to have the chance to step into, right? Now, just because you're stepping into leadership, I see, first half of the month, partway, probably around mid-month for most of you. But because there's going to be this deciding to step into leadership, saying the things people don't want to say, taking on the responsibilities most people are afraid to take on, because there's that step into it, the universe is also saying in the second half of the month, don't be afraid, though, to ask for help and guidance. Even though you're going to be showing up more as the leader that you were kind of born to be, that you've kind of crafted yourself into being, who's a match for more money, more success. Even though you're a leader, it doesn't mean you don't ever need support and that you can't ask for help, that you can't accept help when it's given, even from like the people that you're leading. Also, if you find that as you step into this leadership, for some of you, I'm seeing this will be like a kind of like you finally saying the thing you want to say that you don't think anyone is saying in your industry as an entrepreneur or an online marketer. And you find that you have a lot of people starting to follow you. Maybe your audience blows up, your visibility blows up. You have so many more eyes on you. It can be a lot to hold that. That's often what we want, especially as an entrepreneur myself. I know this feeling of like, I really want to manifest more authority in my industry. I want to be known as one of the best. I want to be known as one of the top people in this industry. I want to be paid accordingly. I want to be compensated at higher and higher amounts. But what we don't realize is often when we get there, the ability or the necessity, I'll say, to hold that new level of success, of power, of responsibility, that can be overwhelming. It can be a lot, and it can feel very isolating at times. And so the universe is saying, if you slip into that, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for guidance, to seek guidance, or to let it in when it comes to you. For some of you, you could end up hiring some sort of mentor towards the end of the month, or at least just connecting with people who, maybe I see you going to other networking events and connecting with people who have kind of walked this path before you, maybe in different ways, but they know what it takes to be at this level that you're going to be playing at. You're playing at an entirely new level of success and power and influence and compensation in return this coming month. Like, this is the start of that. So this is very exciting, but you have to be able to hold that. You have to expand your capacity to hold everything that comes with more success and power and money, because with that also comes more criticism, more jealousy, sometimes more projections, more people expecting more from you, more internal pressure from yourself to perform at a higher level, right? There's a lot of things that come with that. You have been doing a lot of the groundwork that has created you into the person who's ready for this, so don't doubt that. Again, we have like the thread of fate, right? Like there's a lot of this thread things. You've been really completely redesigning yourself, changing your fates. But this doesn't mean you have to go it alone. Just because you've now stepped into a more powerful, more influential, more successful, more wealthy version of yourself, it doesn't mean you still have to go it alone. In fact, the more that you allow help and support in, whether it's emotional support, mentorship, things like that, support from your team, like the more you allow that in, the further you'll go and the more powerfully you'll be able to lead. Being a leader doesn't mean doing it all on your own. So that's there. If you're an entrepreneur looking for that kind of support with high level success, that's what my high level mentorship is. So that link is below if you want to check it out. But there's a lot of ways that help and guidance can come. So find the way that's aligned for you. Let's grab another card for you. Fail abundantly. Interesting with these cards coming out. We also have Defy Gravity. So some birds here. Birds could be hummingbird, and I'm not entirely certain what this bird is. But birds could be a sign for you. Also butterflies I'm seeing as well this month, moving forward, showing that you're on the right path, that you're rising. I do sense that you've had a lot of failures in the past, right? On your journey, especially to being a leader. Part of them I do see might be what have spurred on or what will spur on this kind of, reinventing yourself to then become someone who's capable of leading others and leading at this higher level. The beautiful thing that I'm seeing here is the message coming through is don't let your past failures hold you back, because you're capable of going so much further than you've realized and then you're allowing yourself to. You're capable of more success, more responsibility, more influence, more visibility. You're like, I get you're going to blow people's minds as you step into this leadership role and what comes after that in the coming months and years from here. So this really is a month where it's not only about claiming this new version of you that you've become or that you're becoming to be a leader and allowing that support in to continue that momentum, but it's also about not using your past mistakes or failures affect what you believe you're capable of. In fact, the guidance here is this would be a great time at the beginning of this month for you to look at what are the things that I have some regrets around, or that I feel I failed at, or that I have stories that I've made stories around, with career or money, like, oh, I messed that up when I had all this responsibility before, so I'm not someone who should have it, or, things like that. Can you look at where you have those old stories that are anchoring you into the old identity and that old sense of like doubting what you're capable of? And can you then uproot those things and actually turn them on their head and really look at, wow, well, actually there were some lessons I learned in those failures, or those failures repositioned me or redirected me to where I am now, into this, what could be coming for me this month, right? Like, or this leadership that I'm choosing to claim. So really using everything, even in the past, going back and doing a kind of review of the things that you would say were not your best moments, career or financially, in the past. And can you find the gold buried within them? Can you find the lessons within them? Can you kind of almost, whether it was lessons you learned about how to manage money, or things about your industry, or what, whether it gave you the opportunity to see what you really wanted, or it actually put you on a different career path that has now led you to this point where you're going to have amazing opportunities this month. Is it something where it just helped you cultivate inner strength or more resiliency within yourself? Like what did those past failures do for you? Turn them into sources of abundance, right? Use them as fuel to catapult yourself even further, even higher, to defy gravity, right? To show people what's possible, because I see that in you claiming this leadership and what you're going to do in this role of more power, more influence, more visibility, whatever it is for you this month, in the coming months and years. Like, it is going to be something that you are going to be one of the top in your industry. You're going to be one of the top in your business, in your company, in your career. It's going to be something, this is like the start of you being set apart from everybody else. But you have to claim that for yourself. And you have to be the one first who has the vision of, I see how far I can go, and it's far. It's going to blow people's minds. And when you know that, because you can look at all the things in the past that have set you up to be the person that goes further and faster than everyone else and leads the way, then other people will see that too. But you have to see it for yourself first. You have to choose that for yourself and move forward with that mentality. Even saying yes to the leadership role that you're going to see or be kind of offered or have the opportunity to take, with that mentality of no matter what happens here, even if there are failures along the way, moving forward, I'm going to use them as fuel to get me even further to where I go. Because we often think that we'll hit a point of success or wealth where we won't fail anymore, or failure is not an option. That never exists. That never exists. And failure is actually where we find our greatest strengths and our greatest lessons and our greatest pivots and our divine redirections. So welcoming that, right, as well. This is a lot of actually what we're doing in our challenge in the Wealth Vibe this coming month with our main character mind challenge, seeing everything the universe gives us as an opportunity for growth. So if you want to come join us for that, that link is going to be below, but that is so incredibly powerful. We have here the Artisan card. This is from my Wealthy Woman deck. And the Artisan card is all about, in a lot of ways, like using money as a tool and success as a tool, but also for you with where this card came out and the energy of your reading so far. I saw 1313. It's an interesting number I don't often see repeating, but that could be a sign for you. I saw that just popped up on my phone. But the Artisan card, in this case, it's telling me that like you've mastered so much within yourself, so many skills within yourself that set you up to be wildly successful. I saw 333 as well, so that's really cool. Lots of threes coming out to support you. We also have the Key Holder card coming out. This month is going to require you to trust your inner guidance quite a bit, especially because as you step into being a leader, you're going to have to trust yourself and trust your inner guidance to tell you, here's where I am, like, here's what the next step is. Here's the next right thing. Because as the leader, there's no one else to look to. Yes, you can find mentorship and people to help you kind of light the way and find the answers within yourself, or to learn from people who've walked similar paths before you, but you are on your own unique path. And you being a leader means you're the one calling the shots. You're the one calling the shots for yourself, for the people that you're responsible for the people that are following in your footsteps, for the people who are going to be inspired by you, who are impacted by your decisions. Like, you are the impetus. You are the operative power. And no one can tell you what to do. You have to trust your inner guidance. You have to trust your intuition, your sacral, your nudges. Like, you have to follow what you truly believe is correct and not what other people are telling you. There's a reason you're the leader in this position and not others. Remember that, and that's going to set you up for so much more success and even abundant failures if it comes to that. But I just see that the intuition is really going to be such a the key for you this month to really master now being able to lead others, being able to hold more power and influence and sway, right? Yeah, there's, again, coming out here, we have our Three of Swords just on this side with a lot of these, like, reinventing yourselves, a lot of abundant failure, a lot of, this kind of heart-centered pain, this kind of personal hurt, sadness, right? Grief. I see that, in the past, those past things that have happened that have caused you to reinvent yourself, to master things that are going to lead to a different life in the future. It's like you're still carrying those things, and it's not that we need to erase those things in order to move forward, but you can't let them drive the narrative anymore of your life. So there might need to be a little bit of healing, a little bit of turning inward and healing yourself this month, a little bit of, just some self-forgiveness and some, again, I really feel like going through what we talked about here with the Fail Abundantly card, like really going back and looking at, like, what did I actually take from all the things that I regret in the past around my career or finances? How did that benefit me? What is the good? What's the silver lining in it? Like, repositioning those things in your mind so that you can have some compassion for yourself for past decisions, but also forgive yourself, forgive others, not necessarily because they might deserve it, but because you deserve to no longer be holding this and letting it create your current reality, because you're destined, you're fated for bigger things, for much more. Oh wow, we also have our Seven of Pentacles coming up, which over here, which I'm reading is like the second half of the month in the future for you. This is all about like success through kind of like long-term vision, success through like basically ROI is kind of the word that keeps coming through here. It's like your hard work of your inner work and what it's taken for you to reinvent yourself into being the person who can really be the captain, the leader, the commander of your life, of whatever industry or role that you're stepping into more. The work that you've put into that it's going to be paying off, and you're going to be getting in the like months and years to come from this month forward, you'll get to start to see more ROI on that, like more returns on that hard work you put into yourself and the hard work that you're going to be putting into the leadership role that you're stepping into in whatever capacity that is this month. So this is a really beautiful card to see coming out. I could see even some of those rewards starting to come in towards the end of the month, especially if you take on this leadership role, or this leadership is something you claim and you step into this new level of visibility in your business earlier in the month. You could start seeing like more clients enrolling with you by the end of the month. You could see more people buying your product sales going up. I'm seeing like the graph of like sales going like just this huge, like spike toward the end of the month for some of you. For some of you, this could be getting your first bigger paycheck with this new position you're in. There's some, like for some of you, there's like an almost immediate payout towards the end of the month where there's the bigger money coming in. But if not, then it's coming in the months to come from this leadership. But right now it's like this month is so much about anchoring yourself into being able to hold this leadership role that you choose and claim and step into, and not letting it kind of consume you is what I'm feeling. Really strengthen yourself to be able to hold all of that, because when you can hold all that, you can hold the abundance that comes with it. This is really powerful. We're going to grab one more card for you here. See what else the universe wants to say for you, or just kind of like an affirmation to send you on your way throughout this month. My soul has always been abundant. I remember and claim that abundance now. That's perfect. This is from my new Cosmic Wealth Codes deck, which is hitting bookstores this month, in the next week actually. So remember what I said at the beginning of like, you've been rewriting your destiny, your fate even. You've been reinventing yourself and changing the trajectory that you're on and what you're on track to manifest and experience in your life. The universe is saying that's all true, but remember underneath it all that your soul has always been abundant. You don't need to become a different version of yourself, or someone you're not, I should say, in order to have more abundance. You're enough right now to have wild abundance. You're worthy of it. But when you claim your worthiness, when you claim your soul state, your natural state of abundance on a soul level, then stepping into high-powered positions of leadership becomes easy. I often like to say that wealth is kind of like, it's created from the inside out, right? It's something that it's a byproduct of who you're being, right? Of the kind of person you are, of how you see yourself, how you move through the world, how you flow with your intuition, the way you see the value in your gifts and your power and your ability to hold everything that comes with all the things you desire. But that's always, in my mind, just a kind of natural homecoming to who you are, right? It's a natural returning to your power that creates more abundance in your life. It allows you to be able to hold it and everything it brings with it, right? And so this is really, I think, a beautiful reminder too throughout this month that you don't have to become like the perfect leader, the perfect person who's capable of guiding others or whatever. You've already mastered a lot of these things, remember, and done the inner work. It's more about everything that you might need support with moving forward. Everything you need to just keep in mind is, can I allow myself to shed all the things that aren't really me, that keep me from being in my power? Again, all these past failures or heartaches that we're holding on to, right, around money or career. Can I shed these things and take my power back from them, connect deeper to my own power, and see what kind of version of myself emerges from there? Because that version of you is going to be so much more capable of abundance, of success, of leadership, of being one of the most unforgettable people in your industry, in your field, in your generation, in your lineage, in your lifetime. So very, very cool. I just saw 111 for you on my phone. So this is a nice confirmation. Again, 2727. Lots of different repeating numbers. I don't often see like 1313 or 2727 for when like my guides speak through me. So some really unique things. Again, not surprised with you, I guess, because you are a unique individual. One of those rare people who's meant to be leading the way in some area. So very, very cool. Deck one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it, how it resonated, or what you are intentionally manifesting this coming month. April's going to be a really big month for you, and I'm excited. I'm excited to hear from you about how this all lands for you. Now you are also welcome to subscribe to this channel for future card readings, channeled messages, and subliminals for abundance. And if you want more resources to help you manifest more wealth or success into your life faster than ever before, I will leave links below for all the ways to work with me, including my oracle decks, the guided journals that accompany them, the Wealth Vibe membership, and all of my mentorship offers, which for you, if you're looking for that support as you step into this leadership at this new level of success, definitely check that out. And don't forget to join in the Wealth Vibe if you want to join us for the upcoming Main Character Money Challenge. That starts on April 1st. So with all of that being said, I am wishing you massive prosperity and abundance in April, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye. Hello, deck number 2. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. As we start to shuffle here, I wanted to mention that starting April 1st, we are launching a brand new 21-day challenge inside of the Wealth membership called the Main Character Money Challenge. This is for you if you are ready to start commanding your, co-creative power with the universe on a whole new level. It's designed to really simplify and powerfully rewire your mind to fully own and leverage your role as the main character of your life, especially when it comes to money. Oh my goodness, this is exciting. The muse, generosity, naivety. Right, we're gonna get to that in a minute. But the main point of the Main Character Money Challenge is to help you really own and leverage that main character energy in your life, especially where money's concerned, so that you can make your manifestations inevitable. So if you're ready to step into that level of power and magnetism, I will be sure to leave the link to join the Wealth Vibe below. So let's get into your cards. As you can see here, we had the Muse pop up as your kind of main theme of the month. This has generosity, naivety in it. I am seeing just so much like your cup overflowing, right? Like I'm seeing an overflow this month. It could be an overflow of money, which is always fantastic. Could be an overflow of opportunities, job offers, recognition, success, right? There's a lot of different forms this can take, but because this is a money and career reading, I'd say it's somewhere in the realm of, could be, like promotion, could be pay raise, pay increase, influx in money in your business. Could also be just an influx of creativity, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you have like a creative brand or anything like that, a whole new level of creativity, $1 million ideas that are going to bring you more money dropping in. You're just so much more inspired this month is what I'm seeing for you. So much more like you feel like a new person is what I'm getting. You feel like a new person this month in terms of like, you're having all these genius ideas. You feel like you're more in the zone with your work, with your career, with your investments, whatever you're doing with your money. Like you were just, I'm getting it's like this Midas touch energy of like everything you touch turns to gold. You can do no wrong. You are so in the zone. You are so in alignment this month that everything starts to overflow from there, including more opportunities for abundance to come to you, right? We also have the Champion, achievement or downfall, and we have the Sleeper, cause and effect, clarity. So interesting because both these cards on either side are so dark. This one's such a light card. It literally has the sun on it. I'm not saying these are necessarily bad. It's just interesting that it feels like, to me, especially we even have clouds here and kind of like the sun coming through, but the sun here as well. I'm getting that it's just like you're coming out of a period of a lack of clarity. You're coming out of a period where in your life, this month in April, like this is like the sun breaking through the clouds is what I'm getting. Where in the past, recently, you may have felt like you have no idea where your money manifestations are going to come from, how they're going to come to fruition, how to make them come in, what you need to be doing, what the aligned actions are. I see that you've maybe had some big successes, but also some big downfalls or, things that you consider failures. In the last few months, like you've kind of had this roller coaster ride, whether it's been in actual finances or career itself, or more just in like going through periods of intense hustle and then intense burnout and kind of needing to rest and like just this up and down energy. And so it's like, I get that you have been kind of in this place of, you're capable of more, but you haven't been sure quite how to get there yet. And this is the month where you start to know how to get there. Like you're starting to get the clarity, the ideas, the inspiration, the you're starting to see all the lessons of the past and drawing wisdom from it and starting to be like, oh my gosh, okay, now I know how to move forward. I'm getting the guidance from my Arrow Collective that you have been decked to, if you're not aware of it. If this resonates with you, I'm getting the guidance that you have been in a kind of like a learning phase recently, meaning there's been a lot of trial and error in the last several months or year or two in your life with business, career, finances. It's been a lot of trial and error, which isn't a bad thing, but we make it a bad thing because financial consistency and stability is so conditioned into us in our society. But the truth is that the people who have the biggest abundance, usually they took some big bold risks to get there. They experienced some big downfalls on the way, and they learned so much from it, and it fostered such resiliency within them that they were able to keep going where most people would quit. So the universe is really telling me right now, my Arrow Collective is saying that for you, deck 2, they're offering this reframe for you of looking at the past, everything up until this month of April, looking at it like, oh, this was all kind of preparing me for the next chapter. This was giving me fuel, like ideas to draw on for, it was giving me things I've learned, areas where I've seen there's a gap in things where I could come in and, build a fortune, where I could serve people, where I could offer solutions where there are none, like I can see openings for where things are needed. I have more ideas of what I need to do moving forward in order to get the actual effect I want. I see you've had a lot of this like cause and effect where sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And you're going to be able to start looking back on it all this month and be like, oh, I can see the patterns now, right? Like I can see the patterns. I can see what actually worked and what didn't work. And it's like you've finally collected enough data to be able to like know what you need to do to get to your next level of success and abundance. And it's going to feel so freeing. It's going to feel like relief this month. It's going to kind of allow you to feel like the sun is just like I'm getting like angels singing, like, oh, like the clouds are parting, the angels are singing, the sun is shining, everything is clear, the road ahead is open and free of obstacles. Like I just see that the last little while in your life and your financial reality has just been, it's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of learning, a lot of successes, a lot of failures. I don't think there's ever failure, so I do the air quotes. I think there is success even in failure. There are lessons, there are things that reposition us in failure, right? But you've been going through so much because now you're it's like you've been prepped. You've been prepared. You've been being prepared. You've been preparing to be able to get to this next level that you desire, right? Of wealth, of success, of abundance. You just had to learn some stuff to get there. You had to gather more data to get there. And that's starting to become clearer. And you're starting to be able to actually take things from that data more and more powerfully this coming month. And I just see, again, your creativity overflowing. Like the ways you're going to make money moving forward, first of all, going to be crazy amounts of money, overflowing amounts of money available in your future from here on out. But the way that you're going to do it is going to be so off the beaten path. It is going to be so different because you're so creative. You're so inspired. You're thinking differently than most people think because of everything that you've been through, right? So a lot of really beautiful stuff. Also, I do want to address the word generosity here. It keeps staying out to me. Generosity. The way you're going to move forward and the way you're going to build wealth, I see it benefiting a lot of people. It's not just like you building so much wealth, creating so much abundance for yourself through everything you've learned at the expense of others or just in a very it only serves you kind of way. It's going to serve so many people. This could mean that you have an excess of money that you are generous with, but I see it more so that whatever creative way you're making money in going forward, the way that you're thinking and operating outside of the box, off the beaten path, that's going to inspire people. It's going to uplift people. I see that whatever way you're making money, if you're an entrepreneur, the solutions you offer, they truly help people at a very profound level. They change lives. If you are working in a traditional employment kind of situation, the way that you work with your coworkers is going to change their lives. The way that you help the company is going to do good. Things like that, where the ripple effect of you becoming wealthier, you becoming more successful, is going to help so many people. It's a very kind of for the greatest good energy, right? For the highest collective good of all. That's really cool. Let's see what else we have coming up for you. We have 2710, the fragile, again, because this came up over here. I'm saying this is kind of, again, confirming to you that those things in the past that you kind of still feel like that was rough and I don't want to go through that again, or that was a low point for me. It's like, give those parts of your past and of yourself so much love. Because again, like we said here, it's all data. You were just collecting data. At the time it might have felt like a failure or like something, but it's just like, it's just data. I'm going to say here that if, we also grow belonging. Ooh, that's beautiful. I'm going to say here that if a lot of that talk of like the past being a roller coaster and having like failures and needing to kind of reframe how you look at those failures, if that's resonating with you, pile 1 in this video had a lot of those similar themes. It was a very different overall theme message for the month. But if pile 1 called to you, you might want to check that out after this. If it didn't, don't go for it, right? Like that's fine. This pile is, it's a very unique kind of message as well. With our 26 grow belonging coming up. So with this kind of new clarity, new inspiration, creativity that is growing within you, I see that you might be outgrowing some of the current spaces or conversations that you're a part of. This could mean, again, this could coincide with like going to a different company, getting a different job, being in a different industry. I also see it might just mean like you might just want to find community, is really the word that keeps coming forward, community with people who are on the same wavelength as you, who are also kind of trailblazing in a way, who are making money in a different way or really trying to solve certain problems in the world that are similar to the problems you're trying to solve with possibly your business or whatever you're doing. But just kind of like networking with a different kind of person, someone who's just on a different track than maybe most of the other people in your life, right? And this isn't to say you have to stop talking to your old coworkers or to your old friends or anything like that, your current friends. You don't have to leave people behind, but you might just want to add in some more relationships and look for and be open to more relationships with people who are kind of more in this phase of like, they're not identifying with being on the struggle bus anymore, right? I see like that's kind of where you were. You might not have said I'm struggling, but things felt like a struggle. So there was still this kind of identification with things feel difficult. Things are up and down. Things are a roller coaster with things are unclear, right? I don't know what to do to get to the next level. It's like that was where you were for a while. You're no longer there this month. You're having clarity, you're having breakthroughs, you're having realizations, you're moving forward, you're creative, you're inspired. Be around people who foster that in you. And if the current people around you aren't doing that, the universe is saying it's just important for you to get in those rooms where people are like that. This could be going to networking events. It could just be talking to different people at your job who kind of embody that energy more. It could be finding more kind of places online, like online communities. This is a great place to come into the Wealth Vibe for that. This is my online membership, right? We have a lot of people who look at money very differently in there. We have hundreds of members who are all on a different frequency around money than most of the rest of the world, right? So there's lots of places, wherever feels aligned for you, but finding that community, finding people where you feel like you belong as this new, clearer version of you who's no longer associating, or identifying with struggle in your financial journey, but now being like, ooh, I have clarity, and now it's just moving forward and building and allowing things to overflow and allowing my cup to runneth over, right? Like it's about moving forward. I get for you, this is the month where your focus gets to turn to building momentum, right? Building momentum. Intelligence with the crow and dogwood, and we have patience with the bobcat and blackthorn. Ooh, okay, interesting. So here's the thing. I think you're an intelligent person. I think you are smart. You are a genius, is what I'm getting. But often when we know that we are so smart, it means we are also very aware of how much more we can learn or what we're not aware of. And so sometimes this is where imposter syndrome comes from, is when we start to become really good at something, or we have more clarity around something, or we have more of a direction that we're going, and we're like, this is where I want to grow, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to make money, or get to my next level of wealth. When that happens, sometimes we then often will look around and go, okay, I see where I'm going, but I see how much I don't know along the way, or how far I have to go. And it's this awareness of this gap between where you are right now in your journey and where you hope to be one day, or where other people might already be further down that path, who've been walking the path longer or doing it differently. That's where the imposter syndrome can come in. And so the guidance that's coming up with this card is, don't forget your intelligence this month. Don't use your intelligence to convince yourself that you're not smart, right? Don't use your intelligence against yourself. Don't weaponize how smart you are, how much you can see, how deep you can go to kind of trick yourself into believing that you don't already have a lot of depth. You don't already have a lot of skills, a lot of wisdom, a lot to offer. You do. You've done so much in the past and you've collected so much data recently. It's like you have so much to offer, so much wisdom, so many skills. Yes, you can always learn more, but you can be learning more while also mastering and sharing what you've already mastered, right? So don't weaponize your own intelligence against yourself. You're an incredibly intelligent person. You have learned so much. Do not weaponize it against yourself to hold yourself back. Use it continually. Just remind yourself, I am so smart. I am a freaking genius. I am amazing. And yes, there's always deeper I can go. But the fact that I can see that is evidence of my genius. Like remembering that this month, repeating those sorts of thoughts to yourself. It's going to help you be more patient too, especially when the results that you are seeking aren't immediately there. Like as soon as this is the thing, right? And I get this because I've had this so many times in the almost 7 years I've been in business now. But when you have an idea, when you get clarity, when you're inspired, you have an idea of here's what I want to do next. I saw 333 for you, right? Good confirmation. When you have this clarity, then it's like, you're like, okay, I'm going to start. And if you start taking action and the results aren't there immediately that you were hoping for, sometimes we can immediately go like, oh my God, it's not working. And we get impatient. Because sometimes, especially when you've kind of come out of the fog, when you've kind of come out of the like, oh my gosh, things felt like I was uncertain of what I needed to do next. And now I know, and I was uncertain for so long. When we have the clarity, we sometimes think that then the results will just follow immediately, like within a day or two or a week or even a month. Sometimes things take time. Like what I'm getting is don't doubt your intelligence. Don't doubt this month, your inspiration, your clarity. If it feels right to you, it is correct. Have patience as you implement and move toward those things. It's going to pay off massively down the road. You might start to see some of the return on this toward the end of the month. I get that it's going to come in May and June for you though, more and more, like in the coming months. But the key is that you have to keep going. You can't just try something and just like I see so many people in the entrepreneurial space, they'll launch a new thing, a new offer in their business. And if they don't have any signups within a day, they start immediately going, no one's signing up, no one's signing up. Within a week, they're like, oh my gosh, I've only had one enrollment and I wanted 30. Oh my God. And it's like, sometimes things need time to work, or they'll work in the divine timing, or in the only one person enrolling when you wanted 30, you'll actually learn so much from that. And because you're not holding space for 30 people, you'll have another brilliant idea that leads to even more abundance. And that's the thing that works. It's like, there has to be patience. There has to be this vision of this is a long game. Whatever clarity you're getting this month, whether you have it now going into the month, or else I see it by mid-April, like just this, like, again, like the clouds parting and being like, I know what to do. When you have that, you have to be patient with it. You have to treat it as a long-term vision, not just a short, immediate, like instant gratification win, right? This is also why it's so important to be in spaces where other people are doing similar things to you, because they can tell you like, hey, be patient. They can give you that reality check when you get, because we all do it, we like check over our shoulder to see if what we want is coming instead of just focusing on continuing to put one foot in front of the other on the path, right? So again, this is where the wealth vibe is super valuable, or if you're at a higher level, performing at a really high level, this is where my group or private mentorship is incredibly valuable as well. So those links will be below if that's the kind of belonging you're looking for. We have the moon coming up in reverse. This is all about like truths coming to the surface, letting go of old things that no longer serve us, kind of releasing any sort of fear. Releasing the fear of not being good enough, releasing imposter syndrome. I see these as being big themes for you this month, because it's funny because I feel like you've been praying for, asking for, really hoping for clarity, or just like the next steps forward, or to finally know what you need to do next to call on the abundance you desire. And as soon as you get it, it's like you realize that wasn't the only thing between you and where you want to be. It was also like all of the imposter syndrome, all of the self-doubt, all of that sort of stuff that's also ready to be released, and is also what needs to be cleared here. So there's probably going to be some inner work, some letting go of fear. One of the biggest things I can tell you, and this is just from a personal note, after recently with the recent eclipse we had, and the equinox, the spring equinox, for me, there was a huge portal of transformation. Personally, there was a lot of finding old fears that weren't really even mine. They were more societally conditioned fears that I'd been holding since like grade school, since I was like 5 or 6, really, around success. And I find like they came to the surface and I was able to release them. But the key was I let myself feel the fear for a while first. So if there are fears coming up for you to release or self-doubts coming up, let yourself feel those things so that you can understand them and then release them, right? When we kind of know there's a fear or a self-doubt lingering beneath the surface and we just go, I gotta get rid of this, I gotta get rid of this, instead of actually sitting with it and looking at it and letting it have its space and saying its piece, that's when it like grows, when we don't make that space for it. So I just see creating, this could be really powerful to do at the beginning of this month for you, just to set yourself up for the most fast-moving success throughout the rest of the month. But creating space to feel whatever fears or doubts or blocks you've been kind of like you're aware but you don't really want to look at. Let yourself feel them. Let them come up. Do it, of course, in a safe environment, in a safe way. But let yourself feel those things with the intent to give them space to air their grievances and then release them, right? So that, it's like the more we repress those things, the more that they just kind of percolate and grow and gain, it just gets harder and harder to keep a lid on it. I'm also seeing, interesting, if you make space to do this at the beginning of the month, this is what might actually lead to this breakthrough, to the $1 million idea, to the inspiration, to the clarity of what path you're going down next to get to your next big influx of abundance. So, wow, okay, interesting. We also have, we have the star card coming up. Well, that's beautiful to see after the moon reversed, right? Like of like some big purging. It's like I see after that and this path you got. We have the star, we have the sun, right? We have like all this light coming into your life in April. All this again, clarity, all this momentum, but just like once you have your clarity, once you finally understand like what's the next step for me? Where am I going next in my life? As you have this kind of breakthrough and this angel singing moment and this kind of roadmap to follow going forward, this direction to head in, as you start to walk that path and you start to take steps toward that, it's like you're going to be, I see you as the star of the show. I see miracles dropping in. I see the right people in the right places coming in to support it. I see, like things just falling into place for you and just like you being so blessed and the universe blessing you because the universe is like, yes, this is where you're supposed to be. But again, it's like, as these things click into place, they'll happen over time. So having patience with your journey, with this long-term vision that you're going to be bringing into reality. But it's such a blessed path when you have that clarity, when you're like, this is what I'm meant to do. This is the next step for me. This is the next chapter. This is the next line to action. This is the right industry. This is the right offer, whatever it is. It's like, have that, you need to have that faith in it, have that faith in yourself and walk one foot in front of the other and have the patience because the big blessings are coming, the payout's coming, but you have to move forward in that faith. The universe loves to spoil me with endless riches. This is the last card here to send you on your way. This is an affirmation you can use throughout this month to remind yourself how blessed you are, how much the universe does want you to move forward when you are moving forward on your path toward this clarity, this vision you have, this inspiration. The universe is going to spoil you along the way with endless riches, opportunities, people, the right situations, the right, kind of things happening miraculously for you. So the universe loves to spoil me with endless riches. That's incredibly exciting. This is from my new Cosmic Wealth Codes deck, which is actually hitting all the major bookstores next week. So that's really exciting. But yeah, this is like, I just see, let me sum up April for you. Deck 2 is like, you're on the right path this month. Like things start to finally feel clearer. And as you start to release all the old fears and doubts that you've been holding and maybe not giving space because they don't feel good or you didn't think they were that big of a deal, but as you let go of those things, you reframe the past things, you start to own how smart, how brilliant, how wise, how genius you are, and not turn it against yourself, but instead turn it to work for you. And you root into that deeper and you surround yourself with people who will remind you of this, and you have patience as you go about all these things. It's like your path will be so blessed. That's what I get. Like your path is so blessed. You're ready for this. You've been prepared for this. You've been preparing for this for the last several months and years of your life, and all the ups and downs. They've been working to prepare you for what's coming now, for this, whether it's $1 million idea, a bunch of little pieces of inspiration that all click together, this clarity of where to go, what to do next, what your next steps are in business or career or finances. It's like, it's all been adding up to this and making you ready for it. So you are exactly where you need to be, and April is shaping up to just have so much possibility blown wide open for you. But it's very much, as with most of the time, right? Because wealth is something that I say is created from the inside out. But a lot of this is all created from the inside out, so make that space to release and reframe things and own your intelligence. And that's where then you'll have the space for the inspiration to drop in, for the clarity to come through. If you continue to just autopilot and you don't make that space, there's not as much of the genius that can really shine through to create that long-term vision for you that you can start moving toward. That's that blessed path toward abundance for you. So, wow, really, really exciting times for you in April. Deck 2, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it. Let me know how it resonated or what you're manifesting this coming month. I would love to hear from you. You are also welcome to subscribe to this channel for future card readings, channeled messages, and subliminals for abundance. And if you want more resources to help you manifest more wealth or success into your life faster than ever before, I will be sure to leave links below for all the ways to work with me, including my oracle decks, including my journals that go with them, including my Wealth Vibe membership and my mentorship offers. And don't forget to join in the Wealth Vibe if you want to join us for the upcoming Main Character Money Challenge that starts on April 1st. And with all that being said, I'm wishing you massive prosperity and abundance in April, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Hello, deck number 3. I am so excited to dive into your reading to see what is in store for you financially in the month of April. As we shuffle here, I wanted to mention that starting April 1st, we're launching a brand new 21-day challenge inside of the Wealth Vibe membership called the Main Character Money Challenge. This is for you if you're ready to start commanding your co-creative power universe on a whole new level. It's designed to simply and powerfully rewire your mind to fully own and leverage your role as the main character of your life, especially when it comes to money, so you can make your money manifestations inevitable. Oh my goodness, the musician, inspiration, gratitude. Oh, I'm excited for this reading. So if you're ready to step into a much more powerful level of magnetism around money, I will leave the link to join the Wealth Vibe and our 21-day Main Character Money Challenge below for you. Now, let's get into these cards. I am so excited for these. So first off, with this musician card coming up right here as your kind of like key indicator card for the month, it's interesting because there's a lot of similarities coming through with deck 2, which had some similarities with pile 1. Again, I often see as I do these collective readings for the month ahead, like some common themes that weave throughout, but they all end up being very different readings, right? But I see this being such a month of, for you, inspiration, a month of creativity, right? This was a lot of the similar themes of deck 2 in this reading. So if you felt called to deck 2, this is your sign to go watch that as well. If you didn't, no worries, this will be its own unique reading. Yeah, and already, because I'm seeing such different readings, such different meanings coming up with these cards that came out with it. But we have the cartographer, a crossroads, exploration, the founder, foundations, community. I see that for you. If you are, first of all, I'm going to say this, if you are a musician, literally a musician, especially someone who wants to monetize or who has a career as a musician or in the arts, in anything that deals with music, this is kind of like, I see that part of your career taking off, getting a major boost this month. But this isn't for, if you're not a musician. Then where this comes out into is that I just see for everyone who's here in this pile is that there is some major event that happens partway through the month for you in April where you find yourself kind of at a crossroads, right? Like kind of at a crossroads. And I don't see this in a bad way. Oftentimes when we hear crossroads, especially when it comes to career or money, we often think like, oh, it's a hard decision or whatever. I don't get that this is a hard decision. I just see that this is a major pivot for you this month. This month is a major pivot. It's again, like I said, could be a big boost to your career, especially if you're in music or arts. Could also just be though that like you completely shift industries this month, or you have a complete and total rebirth within yourself, a different way of looking at yourself in the world that totally changes the trajectory you're on. But I get that you're going to have some big choices, at least one big choice, if not multiple big choices this month that really change the track that you're on for what's coming next in your career, in your finances, in your income. But I get that it's going to be an easy choice. It's a big choice, but it's going to be an easy one, is what I'm getting. Like, you're going to know what your true north is. You're going to know where you want to explore next. It's going to be a very easy decision as long as you're listening to what inspires you, to what feels good to you, what feels right to you. I just saw 222 on my phone for you, so this is some nice confirmation of that the way to find that easy answer is just like what feels the most exciting, what feels like an exploration, what feels like an adventure, what feels inspiring, what inspires creativity within you. That's the path to take, right? But it's like, it should feel like a very easy choice. Like, it's almost a no-brainer, but it's a big one. And there could be other people who look at it and are telling you to go the other way with this choice, but you know what the choice is for you, and you need to stick true to that, right? I see that this choice, right, is something, it could impact your community. The foundations of your life might kind of shift because of this choice. But I also get that it could bring in stronger foundations. It could bring in stronger sense of community in the direction that you're heading in next. And that's more of what I'm seeing with where this card came out for you. So I just see this really positive up level for you this month, like a big choice that's putting you on a different road in your financial journey, in your career especially. But it's all like, it all feels very light. It feels easy to make these decisions. It feels inspired, and it feels supported. It feels supportive, right? I get that if you've been looking for a sense of community in your career, like maybe you've been feeling kind of on the outskirts or on the outside of your friend group at work, or, you know, your coworkers or the people in your industry, you don't really feel like you have a lot of peers. That gets to change, but it changes by you making this big choice that affects what you're doing, how you show up, right? Who you're being as you show up for what you do. But it's going to really magnetize more of that community toward you, which is really beautiful to see. So this is like, yeah, I see by mid-month or so, big choice being made. I want to get some more guidance around this for you and just see what's coming your way with this big choice, or any more guidance around how do we leverage this for even more abundance. I see it being a choice around like career or what you do for work, or even where you work. It could be a choice to move somewhere and find a new job, put you on a different track, right? That's a lot of what I'm seeing. Or a big up level, like in your career. Yeah, 9, remember your crown, queen. So I get that, like, some of you, if you don't feel appreciated where you are, like I was saying, you feel on the outskirts, you don't feel appreciated at your job. I just saw 444 for you on my phone as well. Yeah. If you're not feeling supported in your day job, you're not feeling supported or appreciated in your current industry or with your audience or anything like that, then expect a miracle. Like, that's what's changing. I get that your choice comes from this place of, you're like, I know my worth and I know I deserve more than what I'm getting right now. Like, I deserve more recognition. I deserve, whether that's through pay, like you're not being compensated fairly in your current job. I know what my music is worth. I know what my artistry is worth. I know what my creativity is worth. I know what I bring to the table. It's like, if you are looking at where you are right now, what you're earning right now, what you're receiving right now financially, the respect you're given or not given, right? Like, if you're looking at all these things and you're like, this does not add up to what I know I should be receiving and what I should be getting, then it's like, that's where this big decision and big crossroads comes from. Is you're like, do I stay where I am not fully appreciated or compensated as well as I should be? Do I stay here, or do I shift niches? Do I shift industries? Do I shift jobs? Do I change employers, right? Like, do I ask for the raise? Like, this is like the big choice I'm seeing for you. Stay where you are, because maybe there are benefits to being exactly where we are. We know what that's like. There's some comfortability there. There's some predictability in that area. It feels safe to do that in some ways. But I feel like you've outgrown where you are. And so it's going to be a very easy choice when it dawns on you, or when there's an opportunity presented to you this month and you're like, yeah, I'm not going to stay where I am. I'm getting this for you, that like, you are meant to be seen more. For some of you, it's like stages. You're meant to be on stages. It could be also if you're like a speaker or doing events. You're meant to be seen more in your industry, in your field, by your peers, by your employers. You're meant to be seen and recognized and celebrated, because what you do is so powerful, and who you are. You are a good person, and you are a generous person. You are a grateful person. You are someone that people should also be grateful for. And if you don't feel like that gratitude is reciprocated for you, whether it's financially or otherwise, then this is the sign, this is the month where you go, all right, don't feel like this is where I belong. I belong somewhere where I am appreciated for the queen, the royalty that I am, right? Not in a kind of like egotistic way, but in a owning your worth kind of way. So when you start to own that worth more and you finally say whether you claim to the universe or you decide you're going to leave your job or you decide to take that other job or you decide to be open to something else, it's like there's a big decision you make this month. And on the other side of that decision is a miracle. Expecting a miracle. This is where like the big glow up happens. The big thing in your career happens, right? The big thing that launches your music, legacy and all those sorts of things. So this is very exciting. There's a lot of like a glow up here for you this month, but it's, as with everything, starts from within, from you deciding and knowing and owning that you are worth much more than you are currently receiving, wherever you are right now. And that's why this is going to be an easy choice, right? So I say this is why this is going to be such an easy choice, is because you're worth more, and it's going to become abundantly clear to you this month that you are worth so much more, and that it's time to actually own that and decide that and go for it in whatever way that looks like for you. And again, I do get there. It'll be like opportunities presented to you where this becomes very clear, and it's like, do you want to stay exactly where you are, playing smaller, playing exactly at the level you are, or are you ready to go bigger? Are you ready to be seen more? Are you ready to be visible more? Are you ready to be applauded, rewarded, regaled, compensated at greater levels? And for you, I get, because you're here deck 3, like you're like, I'm ready. Breath of abundance. I'd say at the beginning of this month, giving yourself a lot of space to slow down and look within and make a list, make an inventory of all the things that are amazing about you. And I know it can sound so simple, but like the things that come easily to you, the skills you have, what you bring to the table, the way you bring things to the table, like with the empathy, the compassion you have, your soft skills, your hard skills, the things that come naturally, the things you've learned, the things you've hustled and sacrificed to cultivate within yourself, like everything. This should take a while to create a whole list of what makes you amazing, of why what you do carries value, of how valuable you are. And like talk yourself up and really paint this picture for yourself and create that space to see it, because when you can see it, you are going to start feeling more like, yes, of course I am worthy of more. This is really a month of you like owning your worth and asking, like charging your worth, asking for what you know is right for you, but creating that space to actually start to lock that in for yourself is going to be key in order to, and then we have Soul Wealth, which is just another card. These are both from my Wealthy Woman deck, which is another card about that innate worth, that innate worthiness, that innate abundance that you carry, right? And so this is a month where you get to start knowing that more. And as soon as you start knowing that and claiming that on a deeper level, like your own worth, the value of what you do, of what you bring to the table, of what, of who you are and the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with people. When you start to know that more and you radiate that outward and you move with the knowing of like, I am wildly valuable, it's like, oh my gosh, the faster the money comes in. And it's a pretty quick miracle that comes through. This could be a miracle of like a dream job offer, of like a, all of a sudden, like 3 days after deciding I'm amazing, I'm worthy, some, record label reaches out to you and wants to sign you as an artist, or, you have a video go viral online, and all of a sudden now you have all these, opportunities for collaborations with big artists, or it's just like something fantastic gets to come, but it's on the other side of truly claiming on a soul level, like, I know I am worthy, and knowing this deeper than ever before for yourself, right? So that's very, very exciting. We have, this is fun, we have our Knight of Pentacles. So I get that you've been like kind of like plugging away at wherever you are right now, financially, or at this level, or at this point in your career, maybe even the same job for a while. And you've been very practical. You've been very patient about things. You've tried to put in your dues. It's like, again, remember your crown queen, like it's not time to play small anymore. You've done that. It doesn't serve you to continue to do that anymore. And we have our Four of Pentacles reversed. And this is like generosity, right? This is, this can be like overspending in a way, but I am seeing it more with how this spread is coming out with this kind of like, again, this massive miracle and up level. I just see later on, after you've claimed, your worth and finally been like, you know what, I'm not putting in my dues anymore. I'm deserving of what I desire, and I'm deserving now, and I'm going to start acting like it. It's like the more that you start moving forward with that kind of energy, the more that people are just like throwing money at you. But just make sure that you're also kind of like managing the finances and the blessings as they come in and being mindful of them, and not just, kind of like spending faster than it's coming in, or like as soon as it all comes in, you're like, this will come in forever, because it can. But if you get into a place where it's like, this big miracle happened and now I'm set for life, and you get a little like kind of lazy with it, then you can lose some of the momentum, right? Like I see like what you're about to step into, this big up level, this miracle, it's just the start of something. Again, I see 222 on my phone for you. It's just the start of something for you. It's the start of a new chapter. And this is going to take some like level of endurance to continue with it and to continue building on it and holding it. This isn't like a quick overnight win, though it will be in a way, right? There's some quick overnight awesome miracle that gets to happen. But it's not, I want to say it this way, it's not like the end all be all of your entire financial journey. It's not like, like this is it, now I'm financially set for life, or I never have to do anything. It's like, no, like this is just the start of your next chapter. This is the start of a new level of success, the start of, finally being recognized for all the talent and value you bring to the table. So it's like, this is the beginning of that. That means you continue to show up and share your art, your music. You continue to work, you continue to do it. It might be in a different job, in a different location, at a different level of visibility, but you continue to do that. You continue to master your craft and hone things. And then the money gets to continue. But if you get kind of almost cocky, like I did it and now I never have to really work for it again. I never have to, I don't even want to say work hard, but I never have to really even consciously up level anymore, and I'm just done here. It's like, then it dries up, right? It's like you are someone who came here in this lifetime to evolve and to really make quite a big impact on the world through whatever it is that you're inspired the most to do. And the world needs that from you. And so you got to keep showing up for that in whatever way feels good to you, right? But if you just say, I just want to make enough and then never have to give back to anyone or never do anything of value ever again, the universe is like, you came here to play much, much bigger than that. So don't get complacent with it, right? Yeah. Makes sense. That tracks with what I was just saying. The horse and bluebell, modest fortitude, which, it's kind of exactly what I was just saying of like, this big up level, this big miracle. It's like you still get to continue working afterwards. You get to continue moving. And I'm using the word you get to, right? You get to continue building on whatever miracle comes through. It's not the only miracle you'll ever have. It's just the one that kickstarts this new chapter for you. So building on that and continuing to move from there. Use it as a stepping stone up. Don't look at it as the end destination, right? That's what I'm getting for you. Deck 3. Get another card out for you. See what's coming up. We have the raccoon and sycamore, curiosity. Ooh. So to keep the momentum going later in the month, as after on the other side of this miracle, it's important that you not only continue moving forward, but also just get curious about things. I see you, with this big up level, with this shift, with this change, this big crossroads where you choose your inspiration and your value and your recognition of your value over what's comfortable and known. It's important that you kind of take on a little bit of like a beginner's mindset, where you take on a little bit more of like, I'm new to this level, or I'm new to this industry I've just shifted into, or I'm new to this way of doing things. Let me learn what I can learn here. Let me grow even more. Let me master what I'm doing here even more. Let me really succeed on a whole new level. Get curious about where you can grow after on the other side of this miracle. Don't just, again, rest on your laurels and get really comfy there and not push yourself at all. Like, again, you're here to expand. And as you expand, there's more and more abundance attached to that, right? Okay, let's see. We have, I dance with the cosmic current of abundance, embracing every ebb and flow with grace and gratitude. This is from my new Cosmic Wealth Codes deck, which is hitting major bookstores next week, which is so exciting. This is an affirmation that you can use throughout this month. But the big meaning that I have here for you is, it's again like there's going to be ebbs and flows in your career. This is one of those points where it's like a flow, right? Instead of an ebb, it's like an influx of knowing your worth, knowing your value, of miracles coming in as soon as you claim that for yourself. There's a lot of this, like a support and appreciation from the public or your community or the people around you for, whatever big choice you make. It's like, this is a big up level that I'm seeing for you this month. It's flow. But sometimes after we have the flow and the tide kind of goes back out and it ebbs, we make that mean something, right? Like we make that mean like, oh, the miracle came in and then there's no more miracles. And oh my God, what do I do? Oh, I can never do it again. And we self-sabotage in this way. And this is why, again, I think this curiosity card came up for you of like, can you get curious about what's next after this up level? Because sometimes there's that fault. If there's not constant miracles, then we're like, well, then my success is dried up. Then what comes next? And it's like, there's more available, but it requires you to stay open to it and to know that more is coming. Just like we know that when the tide goes out, it always comes back in eventually. But sometimes it takes a little bit. Sometimes it takes a little while. We have to be patient throughout that. So having this attitude of dancing with the cosmic current of abundance, embracing every ebb and flow with grace and gratitude. It's like, again, we had like gratitude here as well, right? Like just a lot of gratitude when you're anchored into gratitude for yourself and what you bring to the table. Also gratitude for the miracles that do come this month, and gratitude for the space after them to figure out what your next move is and how you can master where you've, this new level you've reached even further before the next flow of miracles and money comes in. That's something to be grateful for as well, having the space to integrate it. So treat any space after miracles or big influxes of money as space for integration and locking in this new level before another wave of abundance comes into you this month. Like that's the kind of mindset to get into, rather than making it mean anything when you have something manifest, but then it's crickets after, or nothing, or it seems like you've stalled out. You haven't, you're just being given time to integrate, right? So having that perspective is going to serve you and keep you curious of how you can continue moving forward so that you can reach the next miracle and more abundance and more and more and more into the future, because so much more is available for you, deck 3. That's what I'm seeing for you. Like, I said, your soul came here to expand, to play big, to really experience quite a bit in this life and give quite a bit in this life to others through what you do and through what inspires you. So this isn't like you're just done. You're never done growing. Your soul came here to continually be learning and growing and expanding. So the sooner you can get on board with that and not make it mean anything when there's periods of integration and periods of rest and periods of quietness between the miracles, then the faster the miracles get to come, because the less time you need to integrate them. So there you go, deck 3. This is fun. This is a big shift for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below letting me know what you took from it. Let me know how it resonated or what you're manifesting this coming month. I would love to hear from you. You are also welcome to subscribe to this channel for future card readings, channeled messages, and subliminals for abundance. And if you want more resources to help you manifest more wealth or success into your life faster than ever before, I will leave links below for all the ways to work with me, including my oracle decks and the guided journals that accompany them. I'll leave the link for the Wealth Vibe membership and my mentorship offers. And don't forget to join in the Wealth Vibe if you want to join us for the upcoming Main Character Money Challenge that starts on April 1st. And with all that being said, I'm wishing you massive prosperity and abundance in April, and I'll see you in another video very soon.